Yesterday, we're talking about bullying, and we wanted to find out what are the common causes of bullying and how can we reduce the menace to the barest minimum, especially in schools. We established the fact that bullying happens everywhere. It could happen in the home, it could happen at workplace, it could happen anywhere, but we also mentioned that it's very prevalent in the school environment. And so this brings us to more or less a wake-up call to school authorities to do something about it. And today, maybe our conversation or during the conversation, we will spark up some ideas here and there or strategies as to how schools can help curb this menace of bullying.
That's right. We're also asking you in a side opinion about this, of course, taking a cue from this recent happening of bullying in with Sylvester. We took the life of this young 12-year-old Sylvester, which, of course, a lot of people have been talking about. Something also emanated on the social media yesterday, which was said to be a PTA meeting with student parents and, of course, teachers of that particular school. And some other parents were even, at the time complaining about that their children had experienced the same, only that the kid did not die. And there was a parent who was so furious and saying that. So we're not necessarily addressing that particular happening, but just to buttress the fact that, like we mentioned yesterday, it is a happening. It's become a common happening in every single school, not especially boarding schools. And we want to find out how can we curb or reduce this to the barest minimum. We also established the fact that most of these happenings as a result of children who are coming from dysfunctional homes. So, talking about it, how it can be curbed in school, somehow you touch again on the role of parents, especially at home, and the role of the teachers, the role of school owners, and the authorities generally.
And I remember yesterday we also mentioned the guidance and counseling sector or department in schools. How strong are they? Because, these children, if they cannot share their deepest fears with their parents, the nearest person they would want to or most likely share it with is their guardian or their teacher or the counselor in school. So how strong is the counseling sector or the counseling department or guidance department in these schools to have that, relationship with the students? Where that they can open up to the students or to their teacher or the counselor to tell them, okay, this is what I'm experiencing here, and this is what I'm experiencing with this person, with my classmate or with my friend in school.
That's right. So, Lagos, if you're listening to us, you can join the conversation now and call us on 0700 993 993 993. You can also call 01465 7190 if you are a lady. And you can send a WhatsApp message to 0809-597-5805. 0809-597-5805 for WhatsApp messages. This is part 2 of the conversation. Even if you have an opportunity to talk yesterday, now you do have. How can we reduce these incidents of bullying in our society, specifically in schools?
In schools. So, one of my colleague, posted something on her Twitter page. Apparently, she's a parent, and she said a certain day her daughter came home and told her that her friends had said they don't want to play with her anymore. Her friends don't want to talk to her anymore. They don't want to be friends with her anymore. And she felt, what's the matter? And then she called the school and said she was going to come to pick her daughter up by herself and not using the school bus to get to her.
Yeah.
And then when she went to the school, she went straight to her daughter's classroom and sat with her daughter and asked the daughter and called all her daughter's schoolmates and said, so show me the people that said they don't want to be friends with you anymore. And all of them rose their hand up and said they don't want to be friends with her. And, she felt bad. Like, what? Why? And then she had to confront them and say, okay, tell me why you don't want to be friends with, she mentioned her daughter's name. And they all said, she's always bullying. They didn't use the word bullying. She's not friends with us. She doesn't know how to say sorry. And now, apparently, her daughter is the bully this time.
Wow.
Right? And that's why they don't want to be friends with her. Now, she had to sit them down, talk to them, especially her daughter, in front of all of them to educate her that what she might be doing to her fellow classmates or her friends is bullying. And
right.
because of her character to her friends, that's the reason they don't want to be friends with her. And that just made a whole difference. And after that, I think she asked them, okay, who wants to be friends with her again? And they all rose their hand up again saying they would be friends with her.
So that's the role of a parent.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about stopping bullying in school, even though it's in school, the responsibility is not just in the hands of the school authorities, even though they have a major role to play. The teachers, even though they also have a role to play, the counseling department. Now the parents, it's a joint. That's what PTA should be addressing. That's what the PTA meeting should be addressing. The parents also have a role to play. Imagine if the parents in that situation did not take it seriously, or maybe just say, what do you mean? You guys just hate my child because she's special. That's why you're doing this. Imagine what that would have done to the child.
We haven't got Z on the line. Hello.
Andrea, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Cheers to live. Welcome.
Yeah. Of the talk is this this incident of the dog has been a big concern. I think number one, Mr. Collins, discipline we lack in this part of the society these days. Many schools don't have that willpower, especially the private schools, to discipline children. Secondly, the home front. Many parents have abandoned their parental duty on their kids, raising these kids. But sometimes, the way I see it, I said you can't give what you don't have. When you check some of these parents, they are also bullies in their own way. And some of these innocent children pick up this attitude from their parents. Some pick it up from cartoons, some movies they watch that they are exposed to. I once asked a friend, I said, when we were arguing about not allowing underage child watch a certain movie, and she was making me to understand that there is nothing actually there. And I said, no. This thing about bullying, a child could also pick it up in movies that are not meant for them.
Right.
When you see some violent scenes or some things that these children watch, at their age, they cannot process this information. It could be used in a negative way. That's why they censor film. That's why they censor some of those things to keep children away from them. But what you see these days, the parents are not there to monitor what goes into these kids. The internet is also another point. These kids, this generation, are exposed to a lot of harm, and nobody monitors these things. So I would advise any school that is willing to put up a boarding facility should be given rules and guidelines, and these should be followed. CCTV cameras should be put in these boarding schools. Yes, one could say you are violating their rights by putting cameras in their room, but Mr. Collins, I tell you, it has gotten to that time that we need to put these cameras to monitor what goes on when the school is over. Then lastly, a government should set up like a guardian counseling unit. Aside being in the school, I attended a government secondary school way back, and I know we had a guardian counselor then, way back as at 2000 and something. And we had these people there, and we made use of them. So I think it's time to set up, aside the ones in school, there should be each state should have a guardian counseling unit where schools are meant to report extreme cases of bullying.
All right. Well,
okay.
A lot of points there in one.
Absolutely. 0700 993 993 993. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. What's your name?
Oh, good morning, Andre. Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
What's up, Lagos?
Cheers to life.
Oh, wow. Glorious people, man. Love you, man.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Amadeo Go David.
Oh,
All right,
welcome.
I love what people are doing.
Thank you.
Concerning this bullying of a teen, I also remember when I was in secondary school. In fact, it's until when I become an adult, I knew that is the meaning of bully. You know, there was this guy in my school there, and he was always doing all non-commonsensical things with me. And, you know, I don't want to be a street fighter, whatever. And, you know, he will blow me, he will do, even at the time he injured me. I cannot tell to anybody.
Wow.
So please, the government should see to it that this matter is followed up properly, and all the culprits must be brought to book, no matter who they are. Because I learned from the news that those people, the children, some of them have been flown abroad. Whosoever they be, they must be brought to book. God will bless you. You people are doing a great work, and I also love your program. I cannot afford to miss it for a day.
Thank you so much. Appreciate.
Collins.
Yeah.
Collins.
Yes, sir.
You must have lived very long in Lagos. So.
Why did he say so?
I know you know the nooks and crannies of Lagos. You speak Yoruba like no man business.
We work out small. Thank you so much. Appreciate appreciate you. Well, Esther is on the line waiting.
Hello.
Hi, Colin.
Hi.
Good morning, Tekes.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
I would have loved to sing, but I'm not really in the mood. I'm not happy with this whole thing.
Yeah.
I would just like to quickly share something with you guys. I think this thing is a call to all business owners in Lagos, in Nigeria as a whole. Whatever business you are doing that you involve lives and you're already making billions, please involve the right people there. Your PR must be on point. Everything must be on point.
That's right.
I remember my uncle, his school on the mainland. Anytime the parents, there's the PTF set up, the parents tried to hijack the PTF, that's parent teacher forum. And this one stood up and he stood against it. He said, no, if a child is bad, the child leaves. And I will complain to my uncle that why will you just send this child, or can't you just send a correctional unit for them to be corrected? And he said, no, you don't understand. I have people from different backgrounds in this school. I will not allow just a child to come and ruin my business. He will leave, and the parents will start up. They will stand up and stand against him. So he tried to just take, then the school that set up something that, okay, it's like this PTF meeting has been totally hijacked by the parents. And this is what they do in all schools in Lekki. PTF meeting should not be totally hijacked by parents.
Okay.
The teachers should be involved. The school authorities should still be in charge of it. You should not just give it in the hands of the parents. Because these guys set up calculs and the rest. And that's where the problem comes from. They cannot talk. They cannot speak. It's not really the owner's fault, but they don't need to take their place in this whole thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, collaboration between the parents and the school authorities.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. What's up, Lagos?
Cheers.
Chester
to
Live.
Yeah. I'm really not happy about this. This case.
Yeah.
I could remember when I was in JS3. I attended one of the Unity schools in Lagos.
All right.
I was being bullied. There was sometimes, even if for the fact that I was a day student, I was being bullied.
Wow.
But the thing here is that some of all these schools, I don't know what kind of corrective or disciplinary measures do they give to their children or to the people when they falter, when they do something that is not right. Do they even correct them? Because I could remember when we were small, they used to flog us in school very well if you misbehave. By the time you remember being that you're going to come out in front of the assembly, you will be flogged, you will be disciplined.
Yeah.
Then they will take you to the GNC office to be talked to seriously. You will now have to do some kind of things.
That's right. So you're thinking that lack of discipline has also promoted bullying?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, your point is lack of discipline in schools today has promoted bullying, right?
Yes. I don't think because there are some times you will even hear that a teacher flogged a child. I mean, it will cause problem. But I could remember then when we were in school, if you are being flogged in school, your father will even come and even say, yes, thank you very much for disciplining my child. But these days it doesn't happen anymore.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Nonso, and thanks for being a first-time caller. Another first-time caller is there.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Adiola. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Welcome.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, the story is honestly pathetic. And I'm talking like as a parent, I have a
child in the boarding school, what I really see is that the onus goes on to the guardian, number one, and the school authority. What I see in all this boarding school is that some of these guardians is their negligence. Sometimes you go to them after giving one or two things to them again, they do as if the child's life depends on them. What I mean is that the attitude that they portray sometimes make the child not to even tell them something. We call somebody a guider. Sometimes before we have access to this child, it is the guider that they talk to. And certainly, if I go to my child and I ask, okay, what is the issue? He will tell me that he cannot tell his guidance some things, and he will tell me. So instead of him now relating to the guidance, because of the shout, they shout on them, and sometimes they shout, go, just go, and all these things. So it makes them not to like relate to the guidance. When we were growing up, we realized that we had like tell more things to our guardian even before we tell anything to our parents. So I just want the federal government, it should be a circular by now, to all federal or private schools, boarding schools, to make sure that the students open up to their guardian and even to their house masters. For the what happened in Dowen College, I realized that I heard that the child, they've been complaining, not now. Before now, but it's negligence. Sometimes this child will not be able to say this because the way they shout on them. This is a pathetic story that the federal government itself need to be Federal Ministry of Education. They need to get involved.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you
very
so
much. Appreciate it.
All right. We have CY also on the line, and CY is calling from VI. Hi, CY.
Hi, Andrea.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Yeah, quick one, please. Let me say this. This thing that is happening, this is not the first time. This has been going on in our society. I myself speaking, I was a victim of this bullying back then in my secondary school days. Back then in our secondary school days, we used to have a day called 11-11.
Yeah.
The senior will come to our class and beat her, and they call it Fox's birthday.
Wow.
They are celebrating our birthday. And I was so scared of that day, It was to the extent that most of my friends were dropping out of school because they were afraid of the beating in school there. Even the teacher were beating us, and the students also were bullying us. Even to a point, my mom fought with one of the teachers because the man flogged me so much. The whole of my back was gushing out with blood.
Wow.
Because I failed the test.
Wow.
To tell you how serious it was. At the extent I was putting on like 3 short knickers of my bonbon. As you will see my bonbon so big to prevent the cane, So this has been going on in our society. It's something that everybody needs to pay attention to.
That's right.
And as for the case of this young boy that lost his life, I think from the this thing I read, the boy have been complaining that they want to leave the school, and then the parents were not paying attention. Parents also need to pay attention to their children when they are complaining of something. They need to ask questions. And some parents are also careless. You just go because it's a boarding school, you just go and drop your child there. You don't go there to check on him.
It's your Dose Plug, and
back. What a break that was. Like we say again, you get used to this in December, all right? And we'll have plenty of these breaks like that, you know. As far as salary is complete, we're good. But hey, apologies. So when you get to the point to make a contribution, go straight to the point, make it a minute so that we can take as many calls as possible. We are continuing our conversation on bullying in schools, specifically how we can curb it, who is to do what. What role do you have to play? The family, the parents, the school teachers, the school authorities, the students themselves. And we're also streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. You can drop your comments there.
All right, 0700 993 993 993. The female only line is 01465 7190. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, Lagos?
Cheers to life.
You are talking about bullying, right?
That's right.
What of these Agbero people and a conductor? What can the federal government do about it? Because Agbero people used to bully everybody around them, and everybody think everything is all right.
That's a good point, but that's not our focus. But it's true. There's bullying everywhere in the society, not just Agbero. They're bullying everywhere in the office. But we're talking specifically in schools because it involves children. And it's becoming alarming. It's an experience most of us experienced it even as kids in school, and nothing was done about it because it became something normal. It has gone beyond normal now. It's become the norm. In fact, that's the same thing, but it has become like more or less like, it's a general thing. Everyone experiences it, so it's not a big deal. Perhaps that's why this guy's case, got to the extreme that he had to lose his life. But let's talk how we can deal with this.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Okay. What's your name?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Eniola.
Okay.
Okay, am I on the program now?
I'd
like to add my voice to the contribute to the discussion on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You're live on air.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so it's quite unfortunate that things like these are happening in our boarding house. That facility is meant to shape children and make them better and have value to the society as a whole, to train them to a level that you can attain independence. I'm a product of the Unity School, and I know that back then, if I recall, about 30 years back, this issue of bullying is a common thing. And in fact, the school authorities, schools generally need to do a lot of work. When I say do a lot of work, I mean you need to have, it's not enough to even have a counseling department. The reason why I say this is I recall that in our time then, we had one. But it's not enough. You have to make it a point of duty to have a periodic evaluation of every single pupil in the school.
That's right.
It's going to go a long way because quite a number of times when people are bullied, they withdraw. Naturally, they withdraw.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't want to talk to anyone, so you need to bring them out of their shell. Until you do that, you might not even know what is going on with these children. So if you have a counseling unit, you set it up such that they have a contact with the child or with everyone at every point in time on a periodic basis. The world is advanced now. You could have cameras everywhere and take records. I'll tell you what, when we were in school, there are two things. Even the guardian, the school will not say that they do not know. Because they are common things. For instance, when we were junior students, we were referred to as fox. And the senior ones were called masters. So, and that's a trend. You go to dining hall, the senior one would have to bully you and get your portion of the food. Kids get emancipated and all that. These are things that if the school is sensitive enough, they will know.
Right. I mean, I take that point where he says specifically that the periodic evaluation or check of every single student, because you asked a number of questions earlier that have to do with how many of these parents actually do proper investigation or finding or research about the school they put their children, and how many of these schools do pay attention to every student Is it all about the number of students you have, or how much quality you give them in terms of, attention?
Yeah.
But I mean, a very valid point there.
It's 11:45, and right now it's this part of the show is sponsored by Land Lotto, and of course we have Deals Blog here to give us a full out break.